Good day and welcome to WOS Wrestling Review, Episode 3. I'm sorry for the delay, we are a week late with the review for Episode 3, which means I've got double the work to do today, because today I'll be reviewing Episode 3 and 4. Let's get right into the action. So, the show starts with Commissioner Stu Bennett sitting in his office. Grado comes in and says, why have you forgotten about me? I'm the former WOS champion. Why don't I get another shot? Why don't I get more opportunities here? And Stu Bennett says what I personally think also, and that is that Grado is not a serious competitor. He doesn't go to the gym. He's all fun and jokes. Stu Bennett says, I'll give you another opportunity if you present yourself as a more serious competitor. So the first match we have tonight is Grado against Shah Samuels. Grado comes out wearing a suit and tie, which of course is his version of being a more serious competitor. Stu Bennett is on commentary for this match with SoCal Val and Alex Shane, of course, and as the match progresses, Grado starts taking off his suit and to the fans' applause and approval, because they love Grado for who he is. Eventually Grado defeats Shah Samuels, giving a cheeky wink and a nod to Stu Bennett, saying as if to say, you can't change me, I am who I am, I'm here, and I'm still beating people. And Grado defeats Shah Samuels in the first match. Now the second match is a progression to a storyline that we have, Martin Kirby against Joe Henry. Of course, Joe Henry was abandoned by Martin Kirby in the tag match in episode 2, so this is like a revenge match. Now for a revenge match, this match was, at least from Joe Henry's perspective, was very comedic, wasn't serious. Joe Henry is Joe Henry, so he's going to come out to his very popular and very catchy and very sarcastic theme song that the fans sing along to, and Joe Henry basically comes in to this match against Martin Kirby, a little bit too happy considering what the storyline is. One thing I didn't like about this match. Now, Martin Kirby is playing the heel. He does a very popular move that the fans love when Martin Kirby is working face in other independent promotions. The move is called the Zoidberg elbow, where he walks along the middle rope and does like this crabby claw effect with his hands. Now, this move, in my personal opinion, had no place in this match, because it's a popular move. It's a joke move. It's a move that the crowd likes and finds funny. Why is Martin Kirby doing the Zoidberg elbow when he is playing the heel? Not just the heel, but the heel who abandoned Joe Henry in the tag match in the previous week. And however, Kirby took the pinfall win. However, he was using the ropes for leverage, so this feud is far from over. Martin Kirby defeats Joe Henry. Match 3, the WOS Tag Team Championship Tournament, continues. BT Gunn and Stevie Boy against CJ Banks and Brad Slater. Now, I loved the look of BT Gunn and Stevie Boy. Neon green, bright colors, face paint, decent, fast, good match. Some risky moves, some high flying, great reversals, lots of running the ropes, lots of speed. BT Gunn and Stevie Boy defeat CJ Banks and Brad Slater, and I'd love to see BT Gunn and Stevie Boy again, because they look like a tag team. You know, they dress in matching outfits, and their outfits are pretty damn cool. They look good. If I could link them to a similarity, they look a bit like the Usos did when they were face. You know, when they wore the bright yellow, bright green sort of attire with the matching face paint. They looked really good. Okay, so match 4 was an interesting one, and one that I was personally waiting for. Now, if you remember, last week in episode 2, Gabriel Kidd won a ladder match, and the only thing he was promised was a big opportunity. Now, this week we find out that was a play on words, because Stu Bennett's version of a great opportunity, or a big opportunity, and I stress the word big, was a match against the colossal Crater. We saw him in episode 1 in the five-way match to begin the show. However, we didn't get to see much of him in episode 1 because he got disqualified for not letting go of a rope break before the referee's count was up. This time, we got to see Crater in his full, massive, huge, colossal glory, and this man weighs 36 stone. So Gabriel Kidd's opportunity was basically to get crushed by this colossal specimen of a man. Crater defeats Gabriel Kidd, but it wasn't a squash match. It was not a squash match. Gabriel Kidd gave it his all. The fans in attendance were clearly on his side. I mean, he was the ultimate underdog. 20-year-old white meat babyface, won a ladder match the previous week, and unfortunately, this is how he gets punished. He gets crushed by Crater. Crater is a scary man to watch in the ring. You fear for anyone that is put up against him as his opponent, because he always outweighs, always towers above his opponents. And yeah, Crater defeats Gabriel Kidd, and it was really good to see more of Crater's skills for such a huge guy. He can move, he can run, he can, he can work a solid match. Right, so our main event. It is Rampage against Justin Sizem. Justin Sizem, great to see him back in the WOS arena, a wrestler who very much impressed me in episode 1. So this is for the WOS Championship match. Rampage comes out with Shah Samuels and CJ Banks, despite Shah Samuels being defeated in the first match of the evening. Rampage, Shah Samuels, CJ Banks, always together, always a gang up to no good. And here Rampage is fighting Justin Sizem and defeating Justin Sizem, unfortunately, due to using shenanigans. Rampage took the win via count-out after CJ Banks held onto the leg of Justin Sizem and didn't let him back into the ring before the referee's 10 count was up. So, yeah, Rampage is still your WOS champion, but let's see what happens next week. Will Rampage's rampage continue? Will Stu Bennett put some law and order into effect? Will he ban Shah Samuels and CJ Banks from ringside during Rampage's matches? We'll see, but as it stands, Rampage, after episode 3, after week 3 of WOS Wrestling, is still your WOS champion. So what impressed me about this show? I was impressed. Well, I wasn't impressed. I was entertained by the storyline with Grado about him needing to be more serious if he wants to be respected as a contender and a potential number one contender for the WOS championship. The whole thing with him coming out in a suit and this terrible tie, looking like a businessman before the match starts, and then eventually taking all of that rubbish off during the match and being good old Grado by the end of the match. That was entertaining. That was a nice touch. I was impressed with BT Gunn and Stevie Boy, the look, their wrestling ability. So the WOS Tag Team Championship continues. Crater is always impressive. Just visually, just looking at the guy is impressive. But I was also impressed with his agility for a man that size. So yeah, overall, very enjoyable show. The previous weeks have been better. I mean, episode 1 is still my favorite. A lot happened in episode 1, and it's understandable that the first episode was going to be the best because they had to present something people, fans would want to come back for, and they did that. And that's not to say that episode 2 and this episode weren't good. They were good. They were very enjoyable. Lots of shenanigans, lots of cheating going on from the heels, lots of white meat baby faces that genuinely draw sympathy from the crowd. So yeah, I was impressed with BT Gunn and Stevie Boy as a tag team. I was impressed with Crater as a physical specimen. Can't wait for episode 4, which I will review later on today. So it's very much a wrestling day for your good friend Dim Van Dam. I hope you enjoyed World of Sport Wrestling as much as I did, and I'll see you back here for the next review. So long, everybody, and keep watching wrestling.